Vanessa Kirby Sue Storm will reportedly be pregnant with her and Reed's son Franklin. When she is first introduced in the Marvel Studios Fantastic Four film, Franklin will be born shortly after in space. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now let's go to the second rumor. Franklin Richards will reportedly play an integral role in the Fantastic Four. There will reportedly be some sort of connection between Franklin and Galactus in the film. So we all know that Franklin was born there was some complications in how Franklin was born. We're not going to get into how he got his powers. If you want a deep lore drop, you ask Comic Cuts because he's the lore guy for our channel. He will do it if you guys want that. If you want a origin video on Franklin, drop a like.
Keep commenting Franklin. If you want the lore video, comment Franklin. We get enough of them, we'll do it.
Yep. And so basically what I think is happening is that regardless of what these rumors say, Franklin obviously is looking like he's going to play a big role in this film, whether if he's a baby or not. Could that be? Now, we're going into some theorizing for a moment, okay? Because I was thinking about this at work, and I was like, "Hey, yo." So, don't you know how Franklin went back in time to his younger self in the comic books? Yep. And obviously there was a part in comics where Galactus was the herald of Franklin because Franklin's just him. He's that strong. Do you think that there could be a situation because like if it is true and they start in the multiverse on another Earth, could Franklin be coming back to warn them that their Earth is going to be destroyed, and that could Franklin be the one to move them to the 616 and older version of him?
You know, I'm not so sure I'm sold on Franklin being the one to move them to the 616. Yeah, you know, but it does sound like you're talking about the Hickman storyline, which you know how much I love that writer. You know, but what's interesting in the Hickman storyline is there is a council of reeds, and they're reeds from different universes. So that might be how they move to the different universe. But I feel like they're going to go big on the negative zone. And I definitely could see Franklin coming from the future and coming back. You know, I'm pretty sure that's what also happened in the Hickman comics. I know I remember the storyline. I'm just blanking if it's Hickman or not, but I'm pretty sure it is. And I'm pretty sure it's like the same exact storyline as the one right after Council of Reeds. You know, I don't like the idea of Sue being pregnant with Franklin at all. I like the idea of Franklin coming from the future. But yeah, that's what I got.
Do you like would you be hyped if you saw the Council of Reeds in this movie? If that's how they got moved? Or do you think that they should save that for like a later on thing?
I think they should save it for a later on thing because there's two things going on here. I think everyone, as soon as we hear that this movie is going to be in a different universe, everyone's like, well, we want the Fantastic Four in the regular universe. So how's that happening? And like, we want to see that happen immediately. But I don't think that's the move just because the Fantastic Four are a tricky IP, and they shouldn't be. But the truth is, they've never been successful with the IP in movies. They just haven't. And because of that, I don't think they should take that big of a risk. And I think that something like the Council of Reeds, like the second you do the Council of Reeds, you're making your number one guy on the Fantastic Four show the spotlight. And that doesn't sit well with me.
So your thing is save it for a project later on, and then you bring in all of the older Reeds from like the old Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah, I don't think you need to I don't think that the Council of Reeds needs to be Reeds from other movies. Like they could be literally identical to Pedro Pascal. And they might look a little different depending on their hair or whatever, but the Pedro Pascal you know, person. And I also think that they could get away with doing this in another movie. Like they could, you know, use the Council of Reeds to bring the Fantastic Four to the MCU universe in Doctor Strange 3. And the one thing you have to understand about the Council of Reeds is that it's very different from the Council of Kangs.
How is it?
So, granted, if you saw like the picture of the Council of Reeds, the different reeds and how they look would look just the way the different Kangs look. However, the thing about being a member of the Council of Reeds is that you are required to abandon your family. And and the Reeds who are in the Council of Reeds convince themselves that they are serving a greater good and they are sacrificing their personal life with their family because they have a more important calling. And they really believe this. And they try to sell it to the Reed in the mainline, in the 616 universe in the comics. And, you know, in the beginning, he's uncertain of it. And it's an interesting dynamic because, you know, it's pretty crazy to abandon your family and convince yourself you're serving a greater calling. And it's not like in an arena, you know, they are in the room that they're in is very reminiscent of in the beginning of the Avengers. Remember when Loki comes and steals the Tesseract? The room looks just like that.
Okay. I got you. All right. So yeah, all in all, we're going to uncover this as obviously as more rumors come out, and you know we're going to obviously talk about it. But until we see a trailer, we can't really go. Yeah, we can't really say it's a fact. But yeah, where's him?
I will also do a video on Council of Reeds if you comment Council, and feel free to comment both Council and Franklin.